Some morning cardio, figured we would record it and have a chat while we're doing it. Let's see if this works. Oh my goodness, it actually gets us. Hey. Okay. Pop that up. Let's go up a little bit higher. Now we can see. Move this. Let's see. This way.
I'm on the Wi-Fi. Success.
It's a little bit dark, but that's all right. Hey, all right. Good morning, everybody.
It does feel a little bit chilly up here.
Yeah, but once we get moving, we're good. Oh, and
Yeah.
we can see in the reflection where we're at, so everybody can see us.
Is that the side where the sun rises?
Say again?
Is that the side where the sun rises? Is that our
no,
side?
It's not our side.
It's the other
It's
side.
opposite
Okay. We won't see the
rises
sun.
over there. We don't see that. If we were
you know
doing
what?
evening cardio, then we could see the sunset.
Oh.
You want
Well-
to change it to evening cardio?
That'll be beautiful. But also, we have an hour before the sun rises, so we'll probably see it on our side.
Is it an hour?
Yeah. I think
It
7:30.
was. I thought that was like 6:30. 6:30 was the sun.
It was 7:30 after daylight savings.
Oh, okay.
Sunrise is at 7:26 a.m. and it's raining right now, but it won't be raining then.
I
So
got
we'll see a
7
beautiful
hours
sunrise.
of sleep last night.
Wait, what am I doing? Speed. Go.
Got to find elliptical on treadmill.
Incline or it doesn't count.
Incline or it doesn't count. Just make sure you hold on to the handles and lean back when you do it.
Oh, that should be part of our discussion. Let's chat about
Oh, what am I doing? I'm hitting the wrong thing. Speed.
how to get the most out of a treadmill.
How to get the most out of the treadmill. Depends on what you're trying to get.
Okay, there we go.
Doesn't
My
have to
watch was not used to me being awake this early. It was like you have to press and hold
You're
to
still
open.
asleep.
It had my sleep time as 11 to 7, so now I have to switch it to 10 to 6.
Oh, goodness. So tell everybody what you cooked this weekend for Christmas.
I think we should tell everybody why we're walking and chatting with them.
Why are we walking? Okay. Well, but I mean, all right.
We can talk
I
about
still
food.
think they should know what you made for Christmas. For
us.
dessert and for dinner, because dinner was bomb.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I surprised him with steak yesterday. He did not know we were going to have steaks.
It's funny for you to say, seeing as how we eat, that you surprised me with steaks.
We don't eat steaks
We don't
every
eat
day.
steaks a lot.
We rarely do, actually. We ate them, well, I ate them more when I was getting Butcher Box more consistently,
Yeah.
but I have not been getting Butcher Boxes often.
Well, we saw you. Did you stop Butcher Box altogether? Right?
I didn't.
Oh, you
no.
didn't?
I just have been skipping the box.
Oh, okay.
So,
It hasn't been worth it. I feel like when we get it, most of the stuff.
well, here's what I did this last time.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I really like from them is the steaks, because they're good
Right.
quality, right? So I did a box of all steak. If I were to get only filet for you and ribeye for me, which is what we like. I don't like New York strip, right? We don't like anything. The top sirloin is too lean.
Yeah.
So it would be, I don't even remember what the total was. It was ridiculous.
It was crazy, right?
How
Well,
much per pound it would end up
'cause
being.
You got almost a pound of filet the other day for last
Yeah, I
night.
got
It was
13 ounces of
It was
filet
almost
for
a
you,
dollar an ounce.
and 10 ounces of ribeye for me, grass-fed, grass-finished for mine, and each one was $15. But I also don't know that I'll be able to find that all the time.
Right. Right.
So,
But I mean, I'm totally down. We talked a little bit about just take a big chunk of money and go fill the freezer up with filet
Steaks.
and New York and ribeye or whatever, New York strip, and just fill it up.
so, and I am doing a high-fat carnivore January. We could talk about that. So
A high-fat
ribeyes,
carnivore or just
high-fat carnivore.
who are you going to start adding butter to? Well,
No.
you're gonna start not butter. What do you start adding? Eating bacon all day?
Not
every day?
adding at all, actually. Just
So
choosing.
how are you going to do high-fat carnivore?
Choosing fatty meats.
Fatty meat, so higher. So you're going to do ribeyes,
We're gonna do, yes. I will definitely be doing ribeyes more often.
bacon.
Um, I'm playing with with going more lion for 30 days.
So not
So
even like lamb.
no, I will still do lamb. So ruminant animals.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm playing with leaning away from pork and chicken
Okay.
and more into the red meat. But I'm thinking I'll probably start with more variety and then taper off. And then I'm going to be doing a GAPS reintroduction at the end.
Okay.
So for those that don't know,
explain GAPS a little bit. Yeah.
GAPS is the gut and psychology syndrome. And it was a book and a protocol written by Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride. And it was initially for her child, which was autistic, I believe. But it was for children on the spectrum, for children with all kinds of different neurological conditions and psychological conditions. And so she wrote this incredible book. For me, when I first read the book, which is now 10 years ago,
Wow.
which when I was thinking back about the first time I did it with 2014, I did get gut healing very quickly, and then reversed it by eating a bunch of crap afterwards. So, discovered
As we
after
do.
I discovered after a garlic bread debacle a few days ago
Just a few days ago.
that it is clear to me that my gut is not healed fully because I was in a world of hurt after one piece of garlic bread.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what better time to do this? January is World Carnivore Month. I have been wanting to go back full carnivore. If you don't know, because you're on Bronson's channel, I have been playing with higher carbs, meaning upwards of 100 at the most. So between
But then you brought it back down.
50 up to 70-ish, up to 100. And then, lately I've been back down around the 50. Feeling a lot better. And so I've been really wanting to go back full carnivore. So I thought, hey, January is a great time to do it. Taking this week to just finish up the last little bit of fruit and things that I have. And then going straight carnivore. So I figured toward the end of January, I will do what's called the GAPS intro diet, which you start with just broth. I don't remember how many days. I think it might only be a day or two that you're just doing broth. And then you add in meat cooked in broth, and then there's a very specific protocol. That's what I told you. So you got to tell him about what you've been doing lately. And I told him, I was like, this is the healthiest way to make meat because that's how the GAPS does it.
It's the best. Everything stays in.
Yep.
Well, you guys have heard me talk about, lately I've been doing a lot of ground beef in the crock pot, where basically I just put a pound or two, like 2 pounds of ground beef in the crock pot, cook it, and it lasts me a day and a half. But it's been
It's got a little bit of liquid in there. You fill it a little
Oh
bit
my
of
God,
water.
it's awesome. Like it's like a soup, a broth, it's meat, like everything.
It's like a stew kind of a thing.
Yeah, like it's so good.
Yeah, that's basically how you eat for this GAPS
It's
intro
the weirdest
period.
thing for me to think that I enjoy eating my meat that way more than anything else. Like I
That is
literally I
fascinating.
get a bowl and just like I just have to. It's so good.
That's like when I make my lamb leg in the crock pot and I
Yeah.
just pull it right out
Well,
and eat it in the broth. It's
when
so
you
good.
take it to the next level and you do the eggs, like when I do my egg yolks in it and mix it up, it makes it like that beef stroganoff.
Oh yeah, it really is like
Oh
a
my
stew,
God.
like a
Gosh,
creamy soup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
creamy
So-
soup, creamy meat soup.
creamy meat.
Yeah, you gotta
Bronson's
put that, you
keto.
gotta put that in your book.
That's going in my
your
cookbook. Bronson's
keto
creamy.
creamy meat soup.
Say that 3 times
Creamy
fast.
meat soup.
Keto creamy meat soup.
We've got that, and we've got my cheesy eggs.
Oh my gosh,
We're gonna have
y'all.
your whole well, your book has to have a Coach Bronson section.
I'll have one of your recipes featured in each section.
There we go.
There you go.
The egg, Bronson's
His eggs lately, he's been putting
so
the
good.
Parmesan
cheese on
top
top with some slap your mama.
like sizzling. And the way he makes his eggs, y'all have probably seen. It's like, it's beautiful.
I've gotten really good at making good over medium eggs, guys. Over medium eggs.
Over medium, like that slight yolk is still amazing.
Moist.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say it.
Oh, man. So why are we walking?
So we are walking because
we want to get shredded.
A little bit of that.
Don't
not
even
gonna lie.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie. That's part of it.
That's absolutely it.
So it started with the day of the garlic bread debacle, where I was doubled over in pain, laying in bed. I was going to go lift, and I could not make it happen that day. And then he was like, "Why don't you go upstairs?" Because we usually walk to our gym, which is around the block. But he's like, "Why don't you go upstairs and just walk on a treadmill?"
This is our apartment. In case you couldn't tell, this is not our regular gym.
This is our building.
Our building.
Rooftop.
This is the workout room in our fitness
center in the rooftop.
In our apartment.
We'll have to show them the view afterwards if the sun comes up a little bit. So I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I'll go upstairs. I'll walk, and then I'll do a little sauna instead, because there ain't no deadlifts happening today. So I came up here, I did a walk, I did a little video on my social. I was like, this is really great. Like, I felt really good after, felt like I was able to digest. And I had the time to like do a video, and I rarely take the time to just set up and do a video on my Instagram anymore. So I was like, this is great. I want to start. So I came back and I was like, babe, I think I want to start doing morning cardio. And he was like, why?
Well, I hadn't been thinking about it myself.
Oh, is that why you were so curious? You're like, really?
Okay, wait a minute. What's going on here?
We tend to always be on the same page.
This tends to happen. We're all,
We have one brain between two people. So yeah, I was like, it's great. I can talk, I can do little videos, or I can get my mind clear. It'll be a great start to the day. Movement at the beginning of the day. Reminded me too of being on prep. Like, I was talking about this on, I think, one of my calls. There's something I love about prep that has nothing to do with getting my body ready for stage. It's the mental part,
getting your life organized,
of what you have to do to achieve that goal, right? And you can insert any goal, but if there's like a switch that flips when I decide that I'm on prep, and I set the date, and I know that I'm working towards something, and it's this by any means mentality. It's this figure it out, schedule it in, plan in advance, discipline mindset. It's mental toughness.
Reprioritizing.
And this is what everybody wants to do in January, right? You set your new goals and you get focused, and for that time you feel amazing. And then as it fades and you let go of those things, which we hope doesn't happen to you this year, you kind of lose that. And then that's the thing we see all year round, is I need to get back on track. I need to reset. I need to restart. And so I would say, commit to no restart.
Well, yeah.
No restarts.
Yeah, and it's not like we made grandiose plans to do all these things, right? Like, it's literally just, we decided we want to do cardio in the morning. That's it. We're not coming at it from, we want to do cardio in the morning. We want to start being more consistent with this. We want to start doing, like, it's not piling all of these things. It's one thing.
And guess what? It's the day after Christmas, and here we are.
Right.
We didn't wait until January 1st. look, I have other things I do want to start January 1st. I don't need to pile it all on and have everything start then.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is something that is going to be different, but is doable. It's definitely something we can sustain.
Yep.
Right? And it's more than just, I was jokingly saying we want to do it because we want to get ripped. That's a small part of it. It's more of what she was talking about. It's more about starting to take a little bit more control and organize and prioritize the things we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
Create more of a structured routine. Starting our day off with some physical activity, giving a chance to spend time with each other, to talk with you guys. If we do this more regularly, it's just kind of a great way to start the day.
Yes, that.
Day, right?
That.
Instead of getting up, being like, okay, I'm getting up in the morning,
and then
gotta go get my morning routine,
get coffee,
get dressed, and start work.
For me, I sit down, I do reflection, and by the time then I look up, I'm like, oh my goodness, now I got to jump into work, and maybe I'm not. I know that my biggest challenge has always been productivity and efficiency with time. Mm-hmm. And so I think this will change the game for that. Just set the day up right. Look, it's nothing to be fun. It's nothing.
Am I allowed to say anything about that? No.
If you want to, I'm very aware of it. So, you know what? There's another little aside.
What?
You will never feel triggered if you understand your own shit.
Yeah.
Like if you know what you need to work on, I'm not going to say you'll never feel triggered. You will feel triggered, but you can quickly recognize what's happening when you feel triggered. Yep. And instead of it be turning into this argument because somebody, said something in jest and you can't take it in stride and let it roll off your back because you're all bent out of shape about it because you don't want to admit that it's a problem.
Yes.
Right? It all starts with you. So having that self-awareness.
Being triggered in many cases is a result of feeling embarrassed because your crap's not where it needs to be.
Yep. And when you don't know and you feel that embarrassment and you cannot even identify what it is.
Now you know.
That's what it is. Yep. When you start feeling those heightened emotions and you can't place it, you're just all of a sudden upset. There's something to look at there.
How you feeling? You in zone 2 yet?
I have no idea. I don't have no zone goals.
I'm about 143 right now.
That's your rate?
44.
I'm 109, 110.
That's crazy.
Chill.
That is still different.
Well, you have...
Wonder what this says if I do it on here.
What's your incline at?
2.
Oh, I'm on 4. But your speed is at 2.7, mine's 2.5.
This says my heart rate's only at 86.
Oh, let's see what the difference is.
Now this says 151.
What does this one say?
How is that so different?
Mine's not that different. That says 105. This says 105.
This says 150.
I got my heart rate right. But you know what? The calories...
I don't feel like I'm at 150.
Y'all do not trust calories on these machines, okay?
No,
Here's a good example. The other day, when I did that walk, I went to track it. I'm using my own app to track my activity. And I was like, you know what, I want to plug this in so I don't forget that I did an hour-long walk this day because that's very out of the norm. And I don't want to think my numbers are all off for some reason. So typically, I would not even count or look at calories burned. But because I was plugging it into my app, I wanted to plug in all the information. So I looked at the calories on the treadmill, and it was like 300.
Right.
And the calories on my watch were like half that. That tells me that the Apple Watch is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Or Apple Fitness.
But at least the watch is connected to your body.
Right.
So it's got something.
So it has
to
more of
go
an
off
understanding of what my body's doing versus this thing is totally making guesses.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. This is saying I'm at 154 now for my heart rate. That seems a lot.
Well, you are older than me.
Wow.
I mean,
wow. But
You've
154, I do
you've heard
not
of the
feel like I'm
180
at
minus your
154.
age,
I don't feel
right?
like 154. What is it?
180 minus your age.
180 minus your age?
Yeah.
That's my target. I'm just saying
Right.
about, like, I don't feel like I'm actually at 150.
No, it doesn't. You don't seem to be.
No. I mean, my armpits are starting to sweat a little bit.
I'm getting a little glisten, a little bit on the neck. It's usually the first.
So there's a lot of reasons doing this, guys. Again, habit, routine.
Here's another thing: when you start
Increase our
moving early,
caloric deficit a little bit each day.
we also make sure we're more hydrated.
Yes, this is also a great way to make sure we get. This is my second one already for the day.
Oh wow,
Slammed
really?
one
You
before
killed
that.
it.
Yeah.
And yesterday
Instead
I
of
drank
starting
too
our day
much
off with
coffee
Yeah.
and not enough water. So kill the water first and then get into the coffee.
And if we're going to spike our cortisol in the morning, I'd rather do it by moving.
Well, it already spiked because
Right,
that's
right.
why we're awake. Y'all, cortisol wakes you up in the morning.
Yes.
You need it.
The only way to avoid a cortisol spike is to never wake up again.
We had that chat over brunch. Cortisol is not always a bad
Oh my
thing.
gosh. Unfortunately, wait, we can see, hold on, because I'm on here. I can see if anybody's asked
Oh.
any questions
Yeah.
on this phone.
I won't be able to see it on mine because we're on yours.
And then we can, all right,
I'll do a little quick.
your videos. Am I live? Live. How do I find, I gotta go to my channel.
Let's see.
How do you find your own live?
I have no idea. I've never tried to do it on a separate.
Right,
phone.
well, if you go to, oh, you're on your thing?
I'll go to yours, but first I'm going to do a
I can't
video.
find my own live. View channel, there it is, hold on. Live, here we go. Hey, look at that, it's us. Jennifer Bottoms Up, Jen Bottoms Up says, any suggestions for best workout eating carnivore month?
What up, fam?
I know I need to lift, but I'm
Today is
having a tough time
Tuesday.
figuring out a plan.
Happy Tuesday.
Okay,
The guy that is mumbling over there is Coach Bronson.
what's up?
And look where we are. We are on the
We
treadmill.
are walking.
And it is not even 7 a.m. We've been up here for almost
Curious.
30 minutes now.
Oh, I'm watching you wave your arms around with the thing.
We woke up at 6 and we're doing morning cardio. And we're not waiting for the new year. Starting now. So we are on live. That's on Bronson's.
Go to my YouTube, watch this
Bronson's
live.
on your YouTube. Bronson's YouTube. We're on live. We'll probably be doing this a lot more. So we'll keep you posted on our schedule. So you can join us on lives in the future. But new things. Don't wait till January 1st.
We got a couple questions.
All right.
Any
What we got?
suggestions for best workout eating during carnivore month? I know I need to lift, but I'm having a tough time figuring out a plan for what to do each day. I'm tired of being a treadmill rat.
Well, okay.
No more treadmill rats.
I have a few questions for her before we answer that question.
Okay, well, go ahead and ask your questions.
Because the good coaches always ask more questions.
Yep.
We want more context, right? So my first question would be, it sounds like she's not already training,
Right.
just treadmill, right?
Yep.
But don't know how she's eating. So are you already eating carnivore?
Well, she
or
said
would you be-
during carnivore. I would assume she's carnivore, but yes.
During
during
carnivore
carnivore
month,
month.
though, tells me maybe you're going carnivore
Right.
in January.
Right.
So that's really important to know. Like, do you start a brand new diet and start a brand new training program at the same time?
Probably not.
So if you're not already carnivore and this is going to be a big change for you,
Yes.
then I would keep doing what you're doing and slowly work on adding something new.
The only thing I would change, if you're looking at, okay, I need to make a whole scale change. I need to start doing something for my fitness. I need to start doing something nutrition wise. I need to start doing these things. Pick one or the other. Start making a change that's a significant change in one. And then in the other one, do something that helps you build a habit,
Yes.
but not necessarily a change, right? So the easiest thing that I've seen work for a lot of people is start changing your nutrition and then just start doing something on a regular basis. So if you're already, from the fitness side, if you're already on the treadmill a few times a week and that's not something that's consistent, make that consistent.
Ooh, I love that.
While you change and
Start with consistency.
start with consistency in the one thing while you make a change in the other. So,
I love that.
And then as you get more into the nutrition, you start making that more of a lifestyle and a habit. Then you can start mixing in, hey, I need a training program, I need to do something else. And then you can build on top of it. Don't try to do both at the same time.
Yep. And if you're already carnivore or mostly carnivore and this won't be a big change for you, then once again, you don't have to wait until you start that to start a fitness, changing your fitness, right? You can start with 1 day of weight training a week, 2 days of weight training a week, something more than what you're doing now.
That's all it takes.
And if you need a program, this guy's got programs, I've got programs. Come holler at us.
Yeah, when you're ready for an actual program to follow from the fitness side of things, there's plenty of options between the two of us. Whether it's just my fitness programs or my boot camp program or just your fitness programs or your coaching, your challenge or your
I've got a new academy launching.
New thing coming out. So we both got stuff that could work for you.
Yeah.
All right, another question. I think I'll answer this one because this is one of my topics.
Before we jump to that, I also want to say, there is no fitness you have to avoid during carnivore month or while you're carnivore.
Right.
The best, in my opinion, in both of our opinions, is resistance training. Not just cardio, not joining classes, not just jumping around with weights in your hands, but lifting weights, asking your body to do something more challenging than what it's doing now. Yeah. If you've been afraid of the weights, one of the best things, because I know so many ladies are, one of the best things you could do is go to a local gym. They usually have a circuit of machines you can try where they give you all of the explanation of how to use the machine, and you can also work with the staff and get support on stuff like that. Even if you're not hiring a personal trainer, they will help you figure out the machines. So that might be the best first step of kind of getting yourself out of, psyching yourself out with the gym and just getting comfortable going into the gym. For some of my ladies, I say, hey, just put on your sneakers and go to the gym.
Yep.
That's your first goal, is get there and get home, even if you don't do anything. And then start getting yourself more and more comfortable there. All right.
Yep.
What you got next?
What do you think of sarcoplasmic versus myofibrillar hypertrophy?
Shut up. You actually got that question.
That's what somebody said.
Somebody knows you. This is like his jam.
So
I never heard those terms until he introduced me to those terms.
So basically the question is more of a breakdown of the different ways that we grow muscle. And one of the ways is by taking the muscles and making the fiber. If you think of the muscle like rubber bands, right? In one perspective, it's adding rubber bands to the muscle, making the more muscle fibers, more tensile strength in the muscle overall, because we're adding more strings to the a rope. We're adding more fibers to the rope, right? The bigger the rope is, the stronger it is.
I like that.
That is myofibrillar, right? If you think of fiber, fibular, that's kind of how you tie those two together, adding more strands.
Fiber, fibular.
Then the other one is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which is basically, if you think of every muscle fiber, is really a combination of a bunch of chambers that have fluid in them, and increasing the capacity within each fiber. So basically making each fiber bigger is sarcoplasmic. So I may not add fibers, but I may make each fiber stronger individually, right? And then that's sarcoplasmic. So you get sarcoplasmic hypertrophy through more higher reps. That's more traditional bodybuilding. It's not about the strength necessarily, it's about the contraction and the development of the muscle. You get more myofibrillar from strength training, like powerlifting, much heavier weights for lower and reps. The thing that a lot of people get confused is by saying one or two things. You can't do one or the other. If you're doing strength training, you're not necessarily going to get bigger. If you're not going to get bigger, you're not going to get it. If you're going to get bigger, you're not going to get as strong. And it's actually been shown in a handful of studies that the overall size growth between the two isn't that different, right? If you have a power lifter, if you look at a power lifter who's really super strong, they're denser but their overall lean mass is about the same as a bodybuilder. So when you're talking from a lean mass perspective, it's very similar. From a size perspective, it may be different. You may have a power lifter who looks really small, like Dimitri. He walks around, the guy on TikTok, right, or
Yes.
YouTube, where he looks like this little dude, and then he walks around a gym pretending he's a coach, pretending he's a janitor, and he's picking up all these weights but he's so much smaller than these big dudes.
He is,
right?
yeah.
But his lean mass is so dense, even though it's about the same. These big guys, it's the same lean mass, but it's a whole just different package, right? So that's where there's a difference there.
Also,
You're going to work both.
Specify.
From a normal person trying to improve their functional fitness and quality of life, doing anything to improve your lean mass is going to help. So I suggest most beginners are looking at ranges of 6 to 12 reps for most of their sets.
My life.
And that is good.
Hypertrophy range.
You're going to get a good mix of sarcoplasmic and myofibular hypertrophy and overall improvement in your strength and lean mass. So you need them both.
It's funny, I was about to say you should talk about the rep range.
Yeah, you need them both. It's not something that we need to, as normal people, really need to prioritize one over the other. Just think about, this is one of those principles over protocols thing, right? Instead of thinking about what hypertrophy is best or which one should I do, think about, take that a level up to the concept of quality of life and just think, what can I do to make my life better? How that happens from a biological perspective or a physiological perspective in your muscles doesn't matter.
Right.
Can I move better?
This is why I said I've never heard that.
Right?
Until you introduced it to me, I was already a pro bodybuilder. Right. I never needed that information to get where I was going.
That's the question that's very similar to what's better, digital or analog for a clock?
I never would think about that either.
Right? Well, it doesn't. The question is, does it matter? As long as you can tell time with it. Mm-hmm. And that's where people are getting stuck on fighting over. Well, digital's better. No, quartz is better. No, who cares? No, a freaking sundial is better. Like whatever it is, right? As long as you can tell time with it, does it really matter? And that's where people need to start thinking about things from that perspective. Make it easier on yourself.
We see it in the diet world all the time, right? Goal? The diet world is all about drilling down. Everybody's always trying to drill down. Well, what's the best way to fast? Should I be fasting? And then just all these rabbit holes.
Right.
Where
autophagy.
If you're eating donuts every day,
it doesn't matter.
Let's pick the biggest problem that we can fix. The simplest thing that if you change this thing, it's going to make the biggest difference, and focus on that.
How many steps you got?
I just thought of another great analogy.
Yeah?
A car, right? If you're driving no, it's not going to be your kind of a car analogy. It's like a female version.
This is girl math.
No offense to the women out there that are like mechanics and like get it, right? But like, I don't know cars, okay? But if I'm driving with a hole in my tire,
okay,
I need to fix the tire, not go get an alignment, or I probably will need an alignment too, but I don't have to deal with the oil and the gas and all the other stuff.
Right, why are you worried about that
There's a hole
stuff?
in the tire.
Right.
You know, like deal with the big problem, the low-hanging fruit. I always talk about the low-hanging fruit. We can all, if we just take a step back and be more aware, we can all say the number one thing that's most negatively benefiting our health right now.
Sure.
Or negatively impacting our health right now. But what does everybody want to do? They want to avoid that thing and go chase after the shiny object.
Right.
Right? We have a problem with binge eating sweets. So going keto is going to fix it until going keto doesn't, because now you eat a bunch of keto sweets. And then you say, oh, now I'm going to go carnivore. Well, that may work for a little while until you discover you can make egg pudding and you can make cheesecake and you can make all this stuff carnivore.
Or it's not sustainable because now you feel super restricted because you can't have all the things you want.
So if you eat one almond, you now jump off the boat and now you're eating all the things.
And then carnivore didn't work for me.
Because you didn't deal with the real issue.
It wasn't carnivore that was the problem.
Yep.
Yep.
Whew.
Start thinking about why this is one of the reasons why your why. We talk about knowing your why in a lot of instances from a motivation perspective, but it's also from a helping you decide what you're doing perspective. And how you're thinking about what you're doing. Because if you don't really know why you're doing something and what your end goal is you're trying to accomplish is, then you're going to get sucked off into all these tangent things that have nothing to do with what you're really trying to do. Right? If all I'm trying to do is improve my quality of life, then all I need to worry about is what are the things that are limiting my quality of life? And then fix those things.
Well, you know, the
That's
real
it.
problem.
It has nothing to do with all the. I don't need to worry about if I'm just trying to figure out how can I spend a weekend with my grandkids without feeling like crap for the rest of the week. Why am I worried about autophagy? Right? Like autophagy isn't going to help you play with your grandkids. Like practice getting up and down off the floor. Stop eating crap. That's the basic little stuff you can do that is going to immediately impact your ability to do the things you want to do every day.
Yeah.
The science behind all of it doesn't matter. Y'all get me fired up on a Monday morning, a Tuesday morning.
Tuesday.
The day
We're going
after
up on a
Christmas.
Tuesday.
We woke up on a Tuesday. Yeah. All right. We didn't talk about how long we're going.
No, we didn't, but we're already at almost 35 minutes.
And it's 7:50 or 6:50. Why does my watch say 7:50?
It's 7:08.
Oh, 7:08. I need better glasses. Thought it said 7:48. 7:08. Okay. Yeah, we could probably stop. I was thinking 30 minutes in my head.
Yeah, I mean, really don't need long, steady state cardio. We're not trying to
But we're talking,
overdo
so once
it.
we start talking, then it just
That's what happens.
it keeps going.
But that's the beauty of it. I wouldn't want to stand around and just walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes. I usually prefer outdoor walks. And where we used to live, we lived right on the lake. So I would always walk around the lake in the morning. And now that it's the winter, I have 10 more seconds to hit 35.
The winter.
This will work for now until we can go out.
Whee!
Outside. Unless we want to get cold drippy and walk outside in the mornings.
No, good. I'm good. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you have great holidays. See you tomorrow, maybe.
New you before the new year. Let me shut it off.